What's up, friends? It's Full Firecore. Welcome back to another video. Now, inside of this video, we are going to be on episode 2 of our Xenoblade Chronicles 2 speedrun breakdown. Now, if you guys haven't watched the first episode in this, I would highly recommend it, but pretty much we just got 21 minutes and 18 seconds inside the speedrun. I talked about it, and then I paused here. This speedrun is done by Anel, a very good Xenoblade Chronicles 2 player, and I'm going to leave his channel link inside the description and also the link to this video. With that being said, let's get into the rest of the speedrun. We're going to watch like 20-30 minutes and then we'll probably pause it again and start episode 3. Well, let's get into it. So we ended off with Rex and the gang walking over to Torgoth. We got all those collection spots and things, and now we can go to the capital, which is Torgoth. Now there's some cutscenes and stuff that happen here, but it doesn't really affect the story that much. Just some cool character development. So after this, there's a little bit of a menu after he skips this. Now this is one of the bigger menus. I'm gonna wait until he gets into it. So pretty much what he does is he changes out double spinning edge for rolling smash, since rolling smash is better. He gives something on Rex and Nia's skill tree, because these are pretty helpful. He gives some items to Nia, one of those being the muscle belt we already gave to Rex, and then we give the auto balancer to Rex, give him a love source so Pyra can have her chart unlocked, and then we give him more jelly, and then we give Nia a cream orange Partha, and I'll get into that later. Then we check Pyra's chart, and then we give her that chip that we collected earlier. And then we go into the battle. So the reason we gave Nia that cream orange Partha is because that is actually her favorite pouch item inside the entire game, and by giving a character their favorite, it gives them more buffs. So now, we're just wandering around inside of Torgoth enjoying ourselves, and we are confronted by some Danian Soldiers. Now, the Danian Soldiers are some Patrick-looking dudes. They have big dome heads, and this fight's pretty easy. Basically what you do is you just use one art on the first Danian Soldier, and then you switch over to the other one, and use your other art. And then you go over to Patrick, who is the big boss, who definitely looks like Patrick, and you use your level 2, I think? Yeah, because level 2 is an AoE. At least I think he does that. That's what I did. Yeah, he uses his level 2, and since this is an AoE, is going to take out the rest of the enemies. So I never really had trouble with this one, but the next fight, it wasn't too difficult, and it's coming up right now. He's going to be fighting Brigid, which is a very powerful blade who doesn't really open her eyes. She's kind of like Brock, but she's a fire blade, and she's really cool, and I like her in the story. But instead of this fight, you go against Padraig and just try to build up to a burnout. No, you build up to a heat, and then you switch over to Brigid, and you have to use heat on Brigid. Now, that is the section that I actually really struggled with, because there's a tutorial right there, and if you mash the A button too quickly, sometimes you accidentally use your heat on Patrick. But after you get the heat on Brigid, you just finish off Patrick, and then I'm pretty sure Nia just uses her level 2. Yeah, you immediately have to mash it as soon as you kill Patrick. And then you use your level 3 on Brigid after, and hopefully Nia got a break, and this is definitely going to finish her off. Now, sometimes you don't get good break luck, and what I usually do, if I don't get a break, I just charge up to level 4, and if I get a break, cool, and if I don't, the level 4 usually kills. So this didn't kill because he did not get all the hits, since Brigid's kind of tanky. She has some high defense and some block rate, so she blocked it. But we lost inside the cutscene, of course, even though we dominated, and Nia, unfortunately, was kidnapped. So we have to save her, since she is a part of the group Torna. Now, Torna is that group that had Malos and Jin and all those dudes inside of it, but Nia, she changed her ways. She wants to be a cool person instead of part of the gang. So we have to save her, and before we are kidnapped, we are saved by this little furry dude called Tora, who he's going to help us out. We need to get more information about Nia, but first we have to eat some food, of course, since this is a anime-like game. So yeah, there's the main story quest, the race to find Nia, and we have to talk to some people. So the first thing you do is you walk over here and talk to Lope, this dude. Now, this is a quest where there are a bunch of people you can talk to, but you only need to talk to a few, and Lope is one of them. So I'm pretty sure you get the rumors of execution when you talk to him. Yeah, rumors of execution. And then you teleport back to the Torgoth Arch, and you learn how to pull blades. So let me talk about pulling blades. Now, pulling blades it's pretty much just gacha. If you don't know what gacha is, it's just a chance to get certain characters. Now, there are really good characters that can make the run around 2 minutes, 3 minutes faster. It doesn't kill the run, but if you're going for world records, you need to pull some of these characters. But the first one that you get is it's guaranteed to be a wind blade. I'm pretty sure it's guaranteed to be a wind knuckle blade, but you can't get any good blades inside of that one. And luckily, since we have the DLC, we get a bunch of legendary core crystals. So then we learn how to craft aux cores, and you can use that to check how much puzzle tree wood you have. And since we finished all that tutorial stuff, now we can continue looking for things about Nia. So we have to talk to this dude over here and buy some information. He's hiding. When I was playing through the game, I couldn't really find him, but here he is. You have to buy some of these, the rumors of the Battleship. You buy that information, and you learn more about it. And you only have a couple more people to talk to, so you have to collect the collection spot for the fountain, since you have to teleport back there. And then you talk to this dude and grab more of Nia's favorite food. Now, the final dude you have to talk to is right here on the bridge, Maui, whatever his name is. I'm not sure what he gives you, but he's the last the last person they need to talk to. Now, before going back to Tora's house and putting together our findings, we have to grab a collection spot over here for later inside of the run. So we run over here and then teleport back to Torna. And Torna has a bit of a proposition for our main character Rex. So instead of just rushing to find Nia, Torna says that he can help in a very big way. So to do that, we have to collect materials. Now, I'm not going to say what these materials are for yet, but it's pretty sick. Alright, so to do that, we have to teleport to the fountain, which is why we got that, and grab some mechanical parts. Now, the first dude we talk to actually takes advantage of the collection spot that we got, or the location spot, with that big root. So we talk to this dude. He gives us the parts for part 1, and then part 2. The dude with part 2 comes over. Part 1, we can just buy the robot parts, and then part 2, we have to kill an enemy that is bothering this dude, and then we get the parts. So we're going to do part 2 first, and we teleport to the upper right, and then this Lamchun Island. And there's this little crab. Now, this crab is a very dangerous crab, and a very powerful crab. He's, well, pretty much he's just easy. There is a correct strategy to taking him out. It's just 3 canceled auto attacks, and then 2 auto attacks to a sword bash, and then 2 auto attacks to a rolling smash, and then you can just use your heat. So 3 attacks, and then 2, use the sword bash, use 2 auto attacks, rolling smash, and then immediately use heat. And this is guaranteed gonna kill him. I never had it not kill him, and then you can just teleport back. So this is a lot faster than walking all the way back to this location, so it's good that we got that collection spot. So we go back over here and talk to the dude, and we're going to finish off the first part of the quest. And the second part of the quest is easy as well. So there are some kids standing in the way, so you have to tilt your stick while it's loading. At least that's what I do. So we talked to this guy, and we completed his quest. It really wasn't that difficult. I don't know why he couldn't have just killed that crab himself, He seems to be quite burly. And then we have to collect some Bion collectors. Yeah, Bion connectors. So we buy 3 of those and we finish off part 1. So as you can tell by the name, Artificial Blade Part 1 and Part 2, this quest is to get your hands on what's called an artificial blade. So I'm going to pause since this is a pretty important section to talk about. So if you guys didn't know, which you probably do, but I'm just going to say it anyways, there are 2 types of people inside this world. Well, entities. There are the humans, or the living people, like the Gormati, the Orions, a bunch of different races. But there's also the Blade, which technically is just rock people. They are collections of sentience, and they're in these things called core crystals. And like I already said previously, Rex was able to awaken one of those core crystals since he is considered the master driver. He was able to awaken what is called the Aegis, the strongest and most powerful blade to ever exist, even though there are some blades inside the DLC which are stronger, but lore-wise, the Pyra and her sister, which I'm going to get into later, they are considered the strongest. Now, some people can actually not resonate with core crystals, and it ends up killing them. That is the cutscene that we skipped when we went on the Torgoth, or the Torgoth Arch. It's some dude who decided he was going to be the hero and awaken a core crystal, but he ended up bleeding out of his orifices, and he died. And Tora, on the other hand, he did not die. It's just he got a very bad bloody nose, so he does not have the potential to awaken a core crystal. But since he's a savage and a big brain fuzzball, he is going to use these robot parts to make his own artificial blade, or his own blade, which is artificial. Alright, so we skip the cutscene, go inside of Tor's house, and we build this creature. So after we finish building it, her name is Poppy for the record, he wants us to play his homemade arcade game known as Tiger, which gives you materials for upgrading your new crazy Robo-Blade, which there she is. Now, the Tiger is hated by some people and loved by some people, but it doesn't matter. We got Torna now, and instead of saving Nia, we have to go to the Argentum Trade Guild and grab some things. So we go to the inn, since we have to do some jumping, some sick jumping. We go back and collect the rest of the DLC, since we're at a point now where we can collect the DLC, which is very helpful, and we go to Tora and give him some items. We give him some love sources. Now, if you guys didn't know, love sources, they make it possible to give people, well, give blades more on their affinity chart. It unlocks it, as you saw right there, since we have to unlock that for some powerful items. But before we do that, we have to talk to Hurry Scurry, this little Nopon, who can only be accessed if you have the DLC, but he gives us this very powerful blade known as Crossette. She's still inside of her core crystal, and we have to wait until we get Nia, since Nia is going to be using Crossette. But we have her now, and she is a big part inside this speedrun. So since we have strength and focus, well, Poppy has Nopon Wisdom, and Pyra has Focus, we're able to get this item, which we're going to give to Pyra pretty soon. We go over here and grab some more Nisapir Jelly. And then we go over here. Now, this is a very interesting section. So, there are things called notches on the affinity chart, which makes it so they have field skills, which can help outside of battle, in battle skills, and then special skills. What we're trying to do right now is give Poppy a bunch of field skills. And to do that, we have to give him some items and collection stuff. Now you might be asking, what are we doing right now? So Poppy has a skill known as Nopon Wisdom, which requires her to talk to a lot of Nopons. And since these 2 dudes are Nopons, we just talk to them. We talk to the dude on the left, and then the dude on the right. And doing that for some reason cancels it out, because you're not allowed to talk to the same Nopon over and over again, but you can talk to these Nopons over and over again. So we just got Nopon Wisdom 2, And also, when we were talking to them, we bought 2 roly-poly maracas and 1 whisper quarter. So since we finished all that preparation stuff, we can go back to Torgoth and actually save Nia. We gotta do some quick jumps and go over here. And this is actually for a chip that we're gonna give to Crossette, and it's going to make Crossette way strong for this point inside the game. So then we do another menu and equip some of the things we just collected. So we go over to Torna and give him the 2 maracas, and then we give him the salmon. So let's slap those salmon on, and then we have to give him the glitter bake, which is that item that Pyra made when she was showing us her cooking skills. And then we give a Nisapir jelly. And then we go to Poppy, and there we go, unlocked all 3 of her field skills. We check Pyra's, and then give her that chip that we got in Argentum. So there we go. But we have another item to collect, which is this chip. I'm pretty sure this is called the wood chip? Spiral chip? I don't remember. The wood chip. Yes, but now that we collected this insanely powerful, very broken chip, we can go save Nia. So we teleport back to that collection spot and continue to the Titan Battleship, which is where they're keeping Nia. And when we're going on our little trip to the Titan ship, we collect a little bit more of the puzzle tree wood, because we really need puzzle tree wood. So around this point, I'm pretty sure he has about 6 or 7 puzzle tree wood, which is fine. I've gotten really unlucky and only had 3, but you know, he got a little bit luckier than me. So what he's doing now is a little skip. Usually you're supposed to go all the way down that route, which is on the right, and go and into the vent of the Titan Battleship. But he's jumping on the actual ship itself, and since he's at a high enough level, he's able to survive. Well, fall damage is a percentage-based thing, so you could do it at level 1, I think. Who knows? But now we're inside the Titan Battleship, and we're on to save Nia. Now this battleship isn't that difficult. They kind of present it as a maze, but if you know where to go, it's pretty easy. If you are actually struggling inside the main game, I would highly advise watching a speedrun, even though the main game is pretty easy, especially if you have the DLC. Literally just either get Crit Mithra or slap on Crossette, and that works. But we're going to slap on Crossette very soon. So we open up the vent, and we get Dromark, the cat butler, which is definitely useful. So we've been going for a little bit. I think we've been going for like 15 minutes or something. So I think we're just going to finish the Titan Battleship, and then I'll probably end it. But I think that's the end of Chapter 2. So we're making some pretty good progress inside of this. Alright, so we got Dromark, and we continue on our mission to find Nia, since we really need Crossette now. Now, Nia is the main played character inside the speedrun, just because Crossette is that broken. So I'm actually going to get into why Crossette is broken right now. So Crossette is not only a very cool character, she's a Fireblade that has fireworks on her feet, and she's a very festival-like character. And by doing that, well, she has some very firework-like powers, and it makes a lot of characters go boom. So, as you probably saw, well, we'll probably see one when this battle starts. There are these little items that you collect called HP potions. They do exactly what the name implies. They just give you some HP. There are the small ones, the medium ones, and the big ones. And Crossette actually takes advantage of those HP potions and gets more damage depending on how many HP potions she collects. So she can max out at 500% more damage, which is very broken. So Nia is inside of solitary confinement, and she's all curled up in there, and she's kind of sad. But we're out here fighting these dudes, trying to save her, since she's behind that door. So this fight is not that difficult. If you are level 7 with Rex, you can die. I've personally never died, and I've done this fight quite a bit. So as you can see, Poppy is putting in the work. She has a topple art, which helps with our driver combos. Since we can topple, Nia can break, well, Rex can learn to topple later. So now we throw on Nia, and we're going to equip Crossette right now. So here's Crossette. It's the Embulant Core Crystal, and it is very powerful. So there she is. We immediately equip her, and Dromark is now pretty much useless. We do some blade pulls on Rex and try and get some good blades. Now, the blade that we're really looking for right now is Boreas, because he has Nopon Wisdom, and Nopon Wisdom helps quite a bit. I'm going to pause right here because this is quite important to talk about. So as you guys saw earlier on how we need certain field skills to open barrels or progress inside the story, there's a certain section in chapter 4, I think, or chapter 4, where you need Nopon Wisdom level 3, and no, Nopon Wisdom level 2. No, I think it's 3. Yeah. And to get that, you could have all 3 on Poppy, which would take even more time. You'd have to talk to about, I don't know how many Nopons. A lot of Nopons, and it would take about 2 minutes extra. But if you can pull Boreas, it makes it a lot faster since he is auto-equipped with Nopon Wisdom, so you can just throw him on, and unfortunately he's a healer blade, so part of the reason why you don't want healer blades on your party is because they will go for the HP potions, and since you're trying to collect the HP potions to get your 500% damage buff, you want to try to avoid having healers on your other characters. But since Boreas is mandatory, he's only in the battle for like 2 fights, and they're pretty easy. But yeah, Anoa right now is trying to pull Boreas or other blades. You could get Keen Eye blades, but he pulls Boreas, which is something that you pretty much need for a world record speedrun. If you're just trying to beat the game quickly, you can still do it normally, or do it without pulling blades. But you also need to collect quite a bit of common blades. So just like Nopon Wisdom and all that, you got to get your hands on mastery skills. So if you pull like a Earth Blade, they're going to have Earth Mastery, and you need 3 Earth Blades, 2 Fire Blades, and 1 Wind Blade. So I don't know how many he pulled there. I think he pulled 1 Earth Blade and 2 Fire Blades, maybe? I don't know. So we can now continue and go through the warship and try to escape now since we have collected Nia. So we grab the key and then teleport back and go up the staircase and do another menu. So this is how we make Crossette broken. We switch out Falcon Turn for Acrobatic Bomber, which makes it so Nia can break. We give the Abyss Vest to her and then give the Muscle Belt to Torna. We slap on some pouch items. Quite a bit of love sources since we want Crossette to be at a very high level on her affinity chart. We give her that broken chip, so she's at 208 attack, which is a lot more than her 16? I think it was at 16. But now we check her chart, and that unlocks everything. So I'm pretty sure the yellow skill on the middle, so there's the red skills, the yellow skills, and the green skills. The one inside the middle of the yellow in Crossette, I'm pretty sure that's the one that adds HP potion damage. It doesn't matter though. As long as you upgrade it, you're good. So since we did that, Crossette is, well, very strong. And we don't really have to be too high level since Crossette can plow through everything like a meat grinder. So this is how you escape very quickly. You have to go up here and slap this lock or this button which puts power in there. But they also teach you about heart-to-hearts, which are unnecessary for the speedrun, but they are one of my favorite parts of the entire game. It's these little sections which are fully voice acted, they're not just text, and it's basically the characters and blades having conversations with each other, and it's good for background and story. But now we're fighting someone who's trying to stop us, known as Dougal. Now, if you guys have watched my Xenoblade Chronicles 2 main character or just important character tier list, you would probably know that Dougal is pretty low on my list because this fight is quite annoying. He likes to hide behind his hammer-wielding boy. but luckily Crossset is able to finish off his first phase very quickly. Now the second phase, in my opinion, is a lot not as difficult. I have never died here, but the blade does have a spinny attack, which has a blowdown effect, so you fall on the ground. So I'm not going to try to explain cross-set strat in depth. You guys could probably just look up what cross-set strat is, but it's pretty much just using your auto attacks until you build up your dolphin slash. No, it's use your auto attacks, then you use dolphin spin, and then you use acrobatic bomber, and doing that breaks them, and then you try to use your level 1, and doing that does a lot of damage, since not only cross-set gets insane damage from HP potions, you can also get a lot of damage from fusion combos, which, as I said previously, is a big part of this speedrun. So we beat up Dougal with the power of cross-set, and now we can finally escape. So we previously grabbed a collection spot so we can do that quicker, but we also give Nia a whisper cord and her cream orange Partha. So as you saw there, we actually had 2 pouch item slots, because after you complete the Dougal fight, you get a pouch expansion slot, which makes it so you can have 2 pouch items. Now, it's very important to put her favorite pouch item inside of the second slot, because if you put their favorite pouch item inside the second slot, it actually does more than putting it inside the first slot. So now Nia is really buff, since she has cross-set and a bunch of stat buffing things. So we go to the entrance, since it's a lot faster to just turn around and go in than walk all the way through the hallway. But for some reason the cutscene shows us running the opposite direction, and that's fine. So here's Morag, which one of my pretty much third favorite character. I like her a lot. She has a very interesting character. I like her a lot. But this fight is not that difficult. If I'm correct, you just build up to level 4 after using a level 1. I think you use a level 1 with Rex, and then you just use a burnout level 4 and try to get a break. So since we have cross-set now, you want to use dolphin spin at any chance you can get, because as you see, it can drop 1 HP potion and has a chance to drop 2. Cross-set's level 1 special also has a chance to drop HP potions. Well, guaranteed to drop 1, pretty sure can drop 2. So yeah, we built up to level 4 and we use a burnout, and if you collect enough HP potions, it does enough damage. He did not collect enough, and he also did not get a break, but it's still a really fast fight and very impressive. So there's chapter 2. Very quick, extremely quick, and it only took him around, well, as you can see right there, about 45 minutes to complete chapter 2, which is a lot better than my time. But we only have a couple more chapters. Well, I make that sound like we're on chapter 8. We have quite a few chapters left, but we're plowing through pretty quickly. I'm really enjoying this series. I haven't been speedrunning the game as frequently as I would have liked, but I'll probably get into it. I just need to take a little bit of a break, and this is very good for doing that. But be sure to check out this video. It's in the description. Be sure to check out Anel's channel, also in the description. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and keep on lookout for my videos.